Hi, welcome into your upper body workout. Now this one is a little more endurance focused. So 2 sets of 15 are what I would recommend for each of these exercises. Now the last 2 things we have are primarily stretches. We'll simply hold those, but we'll talk about that when we get to it. So starting off with a band pull apart. In fact, let me introduce my co-stars here. Regular band, exercise band. This one's about 20 pounds of resistance. You know, they come in all varieties. You can get them in lots of different varieties and, tensions. I also have some dumbbells. I'm using some adjustable ones. That's why they look so funky. They come on a big set. You can set the weight you want, take them off. You can use any kind of dumbbell you want. And we'll talk about the weight when we get closer to doing the exercises which require the dumbbells. But to begin, band pull apart. Important thing here is feel your shoulder blades squeeze together. Start with your hands. You can go overhand if you're having a little bit of shoulder pain or you feel like you are rounding forward a little bit after a long day at work. You may want to try underhand just to really get that focus on keeping the shoulders down. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. I'll show you a little shot of that if you can see the shoulder blades squeezing together. And just like 15 of those. Now we will pair this with another exercise. In fact, a little back extension, focusing a little bit more on the lower back. But just getting warmed up here for this upper body focused workout. Now this, again, more endurance based for this upper body, and we really want to strengthen. We really want to give good endurance and strength to the pillar, the upper pillar, if you will. All those muscles that help with posture, help when you're carrying a load on your back, etc. So that's the first one, band pull apart. Pair that with a prone back extension. So onto your stomach, looking down, and you want your hands back by your side, palms down if you can, and you'll keep your hands and your legs on the ground. So rolling up. If it's this far, great. If you want to go up a little higher, great. And you may feel some pinching, some work in those back extensors. But if you keep your hands down, it's going to keep your lower back safer. And just find a nice neutral spine. So you're not looking up, you're not looking left or right. Simply raising up and down for a back extension. Again, 2 sets of 15, so you can do a set of that one. Go back, do the band pull apart again, and then back for your second set of the back extension. Now let's get into some in which we're using dumbbells. We're going to do a front raise. If you're having any shoulder pain, keep this really light, but it's still beneficial even if it's a really light weight. So focus on keeping your shoulders back and down, kind of brace those shoulder blades, palms facing in, and you're going to go up to about there. So now note how my arms are out to the side a little bit. I'm not straight up and down, right in front, directly in front, but out to the side. In fact, if you want to get particular, it's 30 degrees between the shoulder, it's a 30-degree angle at which the humerus is out from the front of the body. So 15 of these. Remember, keep the shoulders back and down. If you're having a lot of trouble, sometimes it helps to brace your shoulders, back against the wall. So that way you can really hone in on what's happening with your shoulder blades and you're keeping them a little more braced. They will move, of course, but you don't want your shoulders going up and down like this, okay? Pair that with some bent over rows. Now, I'm going to demonstrate them 2 weights at a time. If it gets to be too much, you're a little fatigued in your low back. Remember, the key to this one, good tight abs. But you can always do it one side at a time, too, if this is too much for your low back on a certain day. So, right here, back nice and flat. Note how my back is, I'm not up here. That's more of a shoulder move. I'm not also slumped over, too. We don't want that. We want a good flat back. So right here, bent over row. One leg in front. You can set up the stance as wide as you wish. Squeezing shoulder blades back, elbows are out to the side just a hair. So rather than right here, if you will, if you're looking at me from the floor, they're out about like that, about that 30-degree angle, if you will. So 15 of these. and then go back and do a second set of the front raise and then a second set of those bent over rows. And that's our second little pair. Now, come onto your back. We have two things on the floor. Good shoulder health as well as mobility around the shoulders. This can be done with or without weight. Lie on your back, knees bent, heels by your hips, just good, comfortable. And you're doing a shoulder flexion. Now that looks pretty easy. You can add weight if you wish. Now if it's still too easy, even with weight, littler dumbbells, maybe 5s even. If that's too easy, lift your hips up. And when you get back to here, get a little work in your, not only your hips, hamstrings, low back, but also you'll feel your abs too. So this is a supine or on your back shoulder flexion move. So 15 of those. Again, any discomfort in your shoulders, maybe widen your arms on your back like that, or you don't have to go all the way back. Do the best you can with that. The other one, go ahead and turn onto your stomach. This is definitely a rotator cuff move. Now on your stomach, arms out, legs stay down, thumbs up, that's a T, you've done it before, T-Y-I probably. T-Y-I, back down. Now those are definitely ones I would do without weight. If you ever use any weight, make it pretty light. I'm serious about it, like 1s, 2s, 3s at the most, okay? You really don't need a lot of weight. That's more of a precision exercise, but those two, the supine shoulder flexion, you go on your back with straight arms, and then the TYI, pair that up, 2 sets of 15 of each of those. Now, let's use a band. Let's go back to the band. I'm doing this one as much as anything, not only for your back and for your arms and for the back of your shoulders, but also for a little shoulder stability, a little bit of flexibility, if you will. So put the band around your foot, see? Around one foot, maybe both feet if you want. Dorsiflex your toes back. So that's kind of the setup. If it bothers your back at all, put your back against a wall or bend your knees. Grab down in that band. Good posture. Note my posture. Abs are tight, shoulders are rolled back and down. Toes are flexed back. Squeeze them back. So it's a seated row with the band. You can always wrap the band around both feet if you want to. You can always widen your feet, but just keep the toes flexed back towards your face. Now in the lower body workout we'll get to on another video, you'll work more on ankle mobility, but this is certainly one way to work on a little ankle and lower leg stability, as well as obviously the row that it is paired with. So 15 rows with that one, okay? Next little thing, again, this is another one you can do with or without weight. This is going to work on your serratus some. It's the muscle that helps a big part of pushing exercises, also supporting the proper function, the proper positioning of your shoulders. So from your knees or with straight legs, start right here. Just a scapular squeeze, if you will, scapular retraction. Push up and out, you can pull your abs in if you want for a little extra. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Arch your back a little bit if you want. Now if you're feeling great, you can do this from your knees and even add a push-up. But this is certainly good because the main thing we want to do is work on not only mobility in your shoulders, stability in your shoulders, but good strong serratus too, okay? So 15 of those, pairing that with that seated band row. Okay, let's cool down a little bit. Here are the stretches. You can do this at the very end. You may want to go through those previous exercises 2 times, feeling great, even 3 times, but I'd recommend sets of 15 again. We're working more on endurance here. Knee down, foot down, basically a crescent pose. But let's add to it. So you're going to ease your hips forward. So you're stretching your hip flexor. Bring your arm up and over. You can even rotate a little bit to stretch all the way down this side. Hold it 30 seconds, 45 seconds if you want. Now static stretching is always best at the end. In fact, static stretching is definitely not the end-all be-all for mobility, but we're adding this in today. We'll do a little static stretching today. Switch, do the other side, again a 30 to 45 second hold. And if you're feeling particularly tight when you come in for your workout one day, you may want to do a little stretching, a little movement-based work as well, just to get warmed up. So hold that for a good 30 to 45 seconds. Now something specifically for your shoulders, because we have hit them a bit here today. It's a sleeper stretch. It's something you can do if you're you kind of elbow on a bench and doing it. I'll demonstrate it against the wall, but if you do put your elbow down, make sure there's a good firm surface here, and then just use a little gentle leverage. We'll demonstrate it over here against the wall. My shoulders down and back. Elbows against the wall. Note the elbow is lower than the shoulder, just about where your armpit is, about where the middle part of the ribs are. So that's the setup. Gentle, gentle pressure. Just push down a little bit. You may have done these before. Sleeper stretch is what it's often called. I'll show you a version on the floor as well. Version on the floor is just kind of like this. See, my arm is up. Again, my elbow is about in line with the middle ribs. And just kind of push it down. And that is your upper body workout.